Hi everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, where we are slowly but surely dismantling Angel's testimony, and it looked as though we were done. It seemed as though the judge was going to call a recess, but Angel then chipped in with more information, of course, so here we go. I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on this shoe. One was, of course, the victim's. So we went through this, but I'm going to go through it again just to refresh my memory. And the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. That's pretty sly, hiding evidence like that. There's nothing sly about a lawyer using the law as a weapon. In any case, science is always on our side. Don't forget, scientific investigation is the wave of the future. Maybe I should investigate this evidence a little more closely. Okay, so the evidence is the, have we pressed this stuff? I can't actually remember if we did. Anyway, we've got this shoe, so let's just have a look at this. I think we did look at this before, but it's been a little while since I recorded, so, yeah, I think we did have a look at these. So it looks like somebody, it looks like the shoe, like, stepped in, a pile of blood, which, if I remember correctly, this was, Goodman's own blood, right? This is Goodman's shoe, and then this is Lana's blood dripping on top of the shoe. So I think we've got all we need from that. Doesn't look like there's anything else we can examine on it. So let's just have a look. Is there anything in that photo actually that can relate to the shoe? Let's just have a look at it. I don't think so. I mean, she's wearing her own shoes, obviously. What else have we got? We've got the parking lot of Edgeworth's car. The word muffler was overheard during a call made to Emma at 5:18. We've got the victim's memo found in the trunk. Knife wound. The blood on... Okay, so the victim's blood is on the knife. Alright, fine. Did we press these? I can't actually remember if we did. Let's do it anyway. Why did you lie about those 5 minutes? I guess you could say I just wanted people to look at the results. The results? How many times do I have to say this? I saw the chief prosecutor stab the victim before my very own eyes. Compared to that, a 5-minute blank means nothing. That's not true. Then why didn't you just tell the truth? Don't make me laugh. We're dealing with the most untrustworthy of the vile lot known as prosecutors. Falsified evidence, arranged testimonies, erasing and manipulating evidence. When you fight monsters, you need to use every trick in the book. This when the suspect is admitting she did it. But false testimony is the most despicable crime of all, Miss Starr. Let's just get this over with. Okay, so we're... And now to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? And you found this shoe at the scene of the crime? I detained the chief prosecutor and notified the police department. I wanted to make myself useful while I was waiting for the police to arrive. So, like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off with the shoe. I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. This shoe was my secret weapon if that should happen. See this fashionable basket I have here? It carries more than lunchboxes, gentlemen. I'm happy for you and your lunchbox bag, really. In any case, you removed valuable evidence from the scene of the crime. Now, tell us what you did next. Okay, 2 types of blood were found on this shoe. One was, of course, the victim's. So you brought it to the forensics department. If you're going to submit something as evidence in court, you need it approved. To do that, evidence must be analysed by a forensics expert. And she got away with her little coup because she used to be a detective. The shoe does appear to have bloodstains on it. Well, the man was stabbed after all. And that blood belonged to the victim, Detective Goodman. As I said, there were 2 types of blood found on the shoe. Yeah, she did say that. Okay. And the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. You can't say for sure the blood belonged to the defendant with the blood test. You could though, right? You could just take a sample and get it DNA tested? You claim to know something about blood tests, rookie. Huh? Well, speak up. Well, blood comes in 4 types, A, B, O and AB. However, You can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood. That's true. Okay, that's true. ... That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright. Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types of all the blood tests out there, which means that we can more or less narrow any sample of blood down to just one person. Or so I hear. Stop ruining it, Emma. That's pretty specific. If I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA test results. Okay, so she didn't get the DNA test result. But they said there's very little doubt it could be anyone but Miss Lana Skies. But why is that? So the suspect's blood was found on the victim's shoe, but it wasn't. She just said that she didn't get the DNA test. That ties her directly to the death of Detective Goodman. I was afraid he was going to say that. Okay. This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. I can't let this evidence go through without a fight. More lunch, okay. You ordered the peppered fish guts, right? ... Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some like your client. She is in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with this shoe? A problem? This is critical. Is there a problem with the victim's shoe? I mean, the thing is, there's no way of showing that it was definitely her blood, right? Because she's theorising based on the fact that she got that blood test done, but there was no DNA test to match it. Oh, let's just say there's a problem. I don't know what the problem is yet. I'm just winging it and hoping we'll find something. If I'm not imagining things, I'd say there is one critical problem with this evidence. A clear contradiction. That gleam in your eyes. You're still so young, rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish gut now. But you couldn't take the heat, could you? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? Show us the problem with this evidence. Okay. I mean, what's the problem with the evidence? I don't actually know. We're going to have to wing it. So, I mean, there's blood here, right? So he stepped in his own blood after being stabbed. And the only other thing is that her blood is, well, supposedly her blood is here, which I guess would kind of make sense. It's... I mean, here's the thing, right? If somebody got stabbed and they're wearing the shoe, let's like try and organise the shoe. If you got stabbed, like imagine there's a person up here where the mouse is, then your own blood would drop down onto the shoe, unless of course the victim got in, the murderer got injured, in which case it would drop to the on top. But then there's all this blood here, which means that blood must surely have already been on there, or he'd like stepped in it, I guess, before this blood landed, which is kind of just a bit weird. So I'm gonna just try and hope that it's gonna be either blood stain, right? So I'm gonna go with this one, and then hope that's the one we need. I wonder if you noticed. There's blood on the bottom of this shoe. Don't mess with me, rookie, or it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe. Indeed, there is quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe. It makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about blood on the bottom of this shoe? Okay, so we're going to have to find something else to show, I guess, that there shouldn't be blood on the shoe, or that there I guess we're going to have to show that there shouldn't be blood on the shoe. So let's have a real look. It's not going to be any of these things. The murder weapon, usually in Edgeworth's toolbox, traces victim's blood, no prints. Okay, so there was blood on there, so stabbing definitely happened. Death due to loss of blood, 1 knife wound. Died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. The word muffler, parking lot floor plans. We've got the photo of the crime scene. Should we have another look at this? So there's blood all over the coat, or what we think is blood, right? I mean, the only thing that's standing out to me here is that there isn't any blood on the floor. So if he got stabbed, bled everywhere, and then stepped in his own blood, I would imagine there would be blood on the floor. Well, there would have to be blood on the floor, unless it took place away from this car, but I don't think it did from what she was saying. So you would imagine there'd be like a little puddle of blood by the car that he would have stepped in, and then she probably would have stepped in it as well. So let's try and present this and just try and sow some seeds of doubt that maybe there wasn't blood on the floor. The problem lies in the footprint. The footprint, and I guess the other thing is, right, if he'd stepped in his own blood, then even if the puddle was somewhere else, he would like staggered around or tried to fight her off or something, and he would then have like stepped bloody footprints everywhere as well. Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't any bloody footprints found by the scene of the crime? Cool, yeah, so there would be a puddle and there would be footprints where he'd like walked around putting blood everywhere. Aha! As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about this shoe. This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints. Here we go. Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort. That is true. There were no bloody footprints anywhere in the whole area. Order, order, order. Well, witness? What? Huh? Great going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that the lack of footprint is a contradiction. But then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint. Oh, that's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint. Well, I'm guessing that just means that the blood was put on afterwards, right? So either he wasn't wearing the shoes or the blood was added after he died, I would guess. Think, Mr. Wright, think. ... Hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions. What? Who's doing hold it? Oh, Edgeworth. I see. Now I get it. Get what? Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There is one vital hint to the truth in her testimony. What are you talking about? Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. I thought that was a strange thing for the normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? ... Oh, that. I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory. Witness, well, was the oil drum empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. Okay, so what? So it washed the blood away, did it? Is that what she's getting at? Because that is not going to happen. Water? What does that mean? Still don't get it, Mr. Wright? Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason? Aha! You don't mean... Yes, the suspect knocked over the oil drum for one reason and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would become evidence against... No, that's nonsense. There's no way that knocking over an oil drum would wash away a load of blood that is all over the floor. That's just not a thing. That ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoe tie her quite clearly to this murder. Then, after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs. Why, that's a prosecutor's specialty, erasing evidence. That reminds me, Miss Sky's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she'd cut herself when she stabbed him? What I don't get is why she's owning up to it. Unless she did it. I mean, it's possible that she actually did it. We've never had a case so far where the person we're defending actually committed the murder, and I do wonder, don't spoil it for me, I do wonder if any of these games we're going to actually defend someone who is guilty. And maybe we're going to have to, like, get them arrested or so. I don't know, we'll see. So, that's when my sister's blood got on the shoe. Well, I see no real reason to prolong this trial. Mr. Wright, do something, please. What? What can I do? Your sister has confessed to the crime and she tried to conceal it. But... Enough. There is no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honour.
Very well.
But Angel Star is on the prosecution's side. She could have been lying about the water. She could.
This court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky.
Here we go. Wait. Is she the one who just said hold it? Little girl, what did you just say? Huh? Me? Did you say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution's side? Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well, I thought you'd had your fill, but here you are demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox. A lunchbox called evidence.
Wait, witness, don't tell me you have something else.
Is she concealed more evidence?
Objection!
The time for deliberations is past. Any further comments and you will be held in contempt of court. Your threats don't scare the cough up, Queen. Look at this. Okay, another photo.
A photograph.
I had it just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim.
I see no room for error in this evidence.
But Mr. Wright, wait! Look at the asphalt in this photo. Hey, it's clearly wet. Oh yeah, it is.
Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. ... I'm sorry, Mia. ... Right, wet or not? Don't be so quick to throw in the towel. ... Get yourself up off the asphalt, take another good look. Don't give up, not until the bitter end. This is the last piece of evidence.
Very well. This time I'd like to declare a verdict for good.
Objection!
What is going on? You're on a wait.
What is with you people? Can't I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can it wait?
No, it can't. Then it'll be too late. Look at this photograph, the last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration. So, right. Are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence? Yeah. I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this.
I suppose since we've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court the problem in this photograph.
Okay. Right, so let's have a good look at this. So there's the shoe. We can see that there's blood here. The shoe isn't on him. So this is all wet. So it's possible that it was his blood on the bottom and that it's, you know, the blood, he walked all around here, staggered about, put blood prints, then the barrel was tipped over, washed it away. Possible. There's the knife in the victim and he's in the trunk as suggested. What is this? What's this thing? Is that like a piece of paper? So that's a bit odd. Is there anything else that we can see? It's just like a metal floor. I mean, the sock. It's got a sock on. I guess the water could maybe have washed the blood there, but I don't know. This is weird. I don't know what this is. Let's hit that. Because there's a bit of paper or something in there. Maybe it's like a note or something. The problem in this photograph is here. But guys, we will do this in the next episode because we're out of time. So as always, thank you very much for watching. A big thank you to my patrons, Arcades Games, Wayne, Nate, Paul from the Phantom Fellows, Lyle, Hobo, Numinous, Kubadim, Paul Leone, Flossie the Sheep, JohnCon555, Chrissy, Paul James, and Zolties. And I'll see you next time.